Mantras of the Divine Mother. Date 18th November. Our Divine Mother says the Divine's words comfort and bliss, soothe and illumine, and the Divine's generous hand lifts a fold of the veil which hides the infinite knowledge. With my blessing, says our Divine Mother. Words of our Lord Sri Aurobindo and our Divine Mother. These wordings are taken from the All India magazine of the December edition of 2019, page 18. Topic: a method. Our Divine Mother says, in the end, it's best not to worry, not to get agitated or depressed, that's the worst of all, not to get worked up or impatient or disgusted. Just be calm and say, it will come when it comes, but with an unyielding stubbornness. Do what you feel has to be done and keep on with it. Keep on even if it seems utterly futile. But if I only had a method, our Divine Mother says there are two methods. There are methods. Books are full of them. I do not recommend any of them. It is always the method the author uses or has heard of. Everyone has to find his own method. One can get certain hints. One can find one's own method. But one has to look. It's the same as for the japa. Your japa is given to you, isn't it? You receive it unless you find it on your own. But that's harder and already requires another level of realization. You receive your japa along with the power to do it, but you have to learn how to do it, right? For a long while, you don't fully succeed. All sorts of things happen. You forget it right in the middle or fall asleep or grow tired, get a headache, all sorts of things. Or even outer circumstances interfere and disturb you. Well, here it's the same. You tell yourself, I will do it, and you will do it, even if you have to go at it just like a mule. Everything blocks the way, but you keep going. You said you do it, and you will do it. There are no results. I don't care. Everything is against me. I don't care. I said I'd do it, and I will. I said I'd do it, and I will. And you keep on going like that, says our Divine Mother. Date September 5th, 1962. Our Divine Mother says the reign of reason must come to an end only with the advent of the psychic law which manifests the divine will. Next subtopic, be stubborn. Our Divine Mother says you have to be stubborn. Stubborn, stubborn, stubborn. You are up against all the resistance of unconsciousness and ignorance. Up against all the power of unconsciousness and ignorance. Something obstinate and unyielding. But it's like the story of the drop of water on the rock. A matter of time. The water will eventually wear its way through the rock. It takes ages, but it will succeed, for it falls persistently, drop after drop. First it runs off, eventually it makes a hole, and you have a wide river flowing below. Nature gives us this wonderful example to follow. That's it. We must be like the water dripping on the rock. Date September 5th, 1962. Next subtopic, irresistible attraction for the divine. Our Divine Mother says there are people in whom the psychic movement, the emotional impulse is stronger than intellectual understanding. They feel an irresistible attraction for the divine without knowing, without having the slightest idea of what it is, of what it can be, what it represents. Nothing. No intellectual notion, but a kind of impulse, attraction, a need, an inevitable need. And these people who have that, if I may say, as a result of the grace, they have a mind which does not trouble them, does not question, does not discuss, go very fast. And then, what is quite miraculous according to ordinary ideas is that as soon as they reach the degree of consecration, which identifies them through their psychic being with the divine presence, suddenly they become endowed with capacities of expression absolutely unknown to their nature, says our Divine Mother. From the Collective Works of our Divine Mother, Volume 7, page 394. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo says, the more one develops the psychic, the more is it possible for the grace to act. Next subtopic, two powerful leaves. Our Divine Mother says there are two principal things. This, the capacity for enthusiasm, which makes one come out of his greater or lesser inertia in order to throw himself more or less totally into the thing which rouses him. As for instance, the artist for his art, the scientist for his science, and in general, every person who creates or builds has an opening, the opening of a special faculty, a special possibility, creating an enthusiasm in him. When this is active, something in the being awakens, and there is a participation of almost the whole being in the thing done. There is this. And then there are those who have an innate faculty of gratitude, those who have an ardent need to respond with warmth, devotion, joy to something which they feel like a marvel hidden behind the whole of life, behind the tiniest little element, the least little element event of life, the least little event of life, who feel this sovereign beauty or infinite grace which is behind all things. Our Divine Mother says, I know people who had no knowledge, so as to say of anything, who were hardly educated, whose minds were altogether of the ordinary mind, and who had in them this capacity of gratitude, of warmth, which gives itself, understands, and is thankful. Well, for them, the contact with the psychic was very frequent, almost constant, and to the extent that they were capable of it, conscious, not very conscious, but a little, in the sense that they felt that they were carried, helped, uplifted among themselves. These two things prepare people the most. They are born with one or the other, and if they take the trouble, it develops gradually, it increases. We say the capacity for enthusiasm, something which throws you out of your miserable and mean little ego, and the generous gratitude, the generosity of the gratitude, which also flings itself in thanksgiving out of the little ego. These are the two most powerful levers to enter into contact with the divine in one's psychic being. This serves as a link with the psychic being, the surest link, says our Divine Mother, from the Collective Works of our Divine Mother, Volume 7, page 418. Next subtopic, essential conditions for the psychic growth. Our Divine Mother says, in order to strengthen the contact and aid, if possible, the development of the conscious psychic personality, one should, while concentrating, turn towards it and aspire to know it and feel it, open oneself to receive its influence, and take great care each time that one receives an indication from it to follow it very scrupulously and sincerely. To live in a great aspiration, to take care to become inwardly calm and remain so, always as far as possible, to cultivate a perfect sincerity in all the activities of one's being. These are the essential conditions for the growth of the psychic being, says our Divine Mother. Collective Works of our Divine Mother, Volume 16, page 222. Next subtopic, use the intelligent will. Our Divine Mother says the psychic being is progressive and immortal. All the methods of self-giving, all the methods of self-knowledge, self-control, self-mastery are good. You have to choose the one that comes to you spontaneously and best corresponds to your nature. And once having chosen the method, you must use your intelligent will to apply it with an unfailing perseverance that does not shrink from any obstacle, any difficulty. It is a long and minute work which must be undertaken with sincerity and continued with an increasing sincerity, ever more scrupulous and integral. The easy paths generally lead nowhere, says our Divine Mother. These are the words of our Divine Mother.